Welcome to the Author's Edge radio show with Guy L. Freer. Now, their show airs nationwide on the My Genre Radio Network, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Each week on their show, they help authors create books that transform our lives and imaginations. Through radio excellence, they create a unique community resource, one that promotes, connects, and fosters a sense of well-being. Guy L. maintain a focus on sharing books, publishing, marketing, and writing solutions. They serve listeners by providing outlets for their creative skills and energies, and they help them flourish in the competitive marketplace. Their weekly show provides intros, writing spotlights, helps you in promoting your book, your writing, your publishing, your marketing tidbits, and much more.
Welcome to Author's Edge Radio Show. I am your host, Guy L. Freer. And each week we bring you thoughtful, lively conversations with writers, publishers, songwriters, illustrators, and artists as we explore the power and craft of storytelling. You can catch us every Saturday at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 7 a.m. on KWRH FM 929 and KXOK FM 1029, or stream online at KWRH929.com and KXOK1029.com, as well as on the free apps iHeartRadio, Odyssey, and TuneIn. Author's Edge also airs nationwide Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. on the My Genre Radio Network. Miss an episode? You can always find us on SoundCloud, YouTube, or authorsedge.org. Now that's authorsedge.org. My guest this hour brings a story that blends business, family, and an unexpected journey into writing. One that reminds us how stories can find us at any stage of life. You like that? Any stage of life. Please welcome Leonard Tocco. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Author of Richness, Auburn Heights, The Last Great Antenna Installer, and The Order. Now, I didn't get a lot of help from Leonard on his biography, so most of this I think I made up. Leonard, and he's going to have to correct me if I did. Leonard is a St. Louis native born in 1961, the youngest of five in a lively Sicilian family. So you can imagine he grew up in a house full of energy, opinions, and plenty of stories. He graduated from Riverview Gardens High School and spent a short time at Florissant Valley Community College, where he balanced soccer and computer science. Soccer came first, of course. But Leonard didn't stay in the classroom for long. He jumped into the business world early and spent decades running audio and video stores around the St. Louis area from the 70s all the way up to 2024. That's a long run in a business that changed a lot over the years. After retiring, he picked up reading, and like a lot of good stories, that led him somewhere unexpected. About a year before COVID, he started writing. He's a father of 5 boys and a grandfather to 4 granddaughters, so he's been surrounded by stories his whole life. He'll tell you he's a realist, but somehow that turned into a fiction writer. His work explores real-life themes, family, crime, discrimination, self-growth, with a bit of humor woven in, especially when it comes to his Italian roots. And beyond writing, he's also the founder of the Michael Tocco's Piece of My Heart Foundation, created in honor of his son, Michael. After Michael's passing at just 28, his decision to be an organ donor became a lasting gift to others, turning loss into something meaningful and a legacy his family continues to carry forward. You can learn more at MikeToccoFoundation.org. Welcome, Leonard, to Author's Edge. Did I get the biography correct?
Gosh, so good. I mean, I don't think I've
Especially
ever...
since the only thing you gave me was, I'm Lenny.
Right.
That was all I got.
I need a little help with some stuff sometimes, and telling someone your own bio is kind of difficult. So that's the best
did
I
I
can
do okay?
You did good. I mean, for the fluorescent people, I just want to make sure they know it's fluorescent and not fluorescent. Because I was born over that way, and a lot of customers out there.
Well, she is a foreigner,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What can I tell you?
But yeah, very
So
gracious.
welcome to Author's Edge. It's so good to have you.
Yes.
Welcome to Author's Edge. It's so good to have you here. And I'd like to start at the point where this all began for you, because your path into writing isn't exactly the traditional one.
No, it sure isn't.
You spent decades running a business. What got you into writing?
So I retired in 2017, 18, and found myself behind a pro shop desk at our local golf course in St. Peters, Missouri. And there's a lot of reading going on back there while you're waiting for the golfers to come back from golfing. And it's okayed by the city. You know, we do our job. But one of the guys said, "Len, don't you read?" And I said, "No, man, I don't read." Now, keep in mind, I'm 58 years old, 59 years old. And he talked me into reading. I became very good friends with him. And I kind of immersed myself into John Steinbeck. I know, right? So,
wonderful.
The East of Eden and Grapes of Wrath are probably my two favorite books to read over and over again. And the eloquence the guy's got is just something that I long for. And so when I started writing, that was in the back of my head all the time. Hey, be better than John Steinbeck. Be better than John. Try to do it like he did. So the bar was really, really high.
I would say so.
I mean, it was really high. And I struggled through. I started. I don't know. I think it was the books from Stephen King, and I stumbled across a book that was called On Writing.
I was just going to ask you if you got that one.
So I ended up with that, and I got ADD, and I didn't finish it, and I started it, and it said, "Why don't you go out and write your own book?"
Well, you shouldn't really read the whole thing. You read what is important to you and what works for you, and then you go back and use it as a reference.
Right. Well, I still haven't finished the darn thing.
Well, you don't need to. You just keep using it.
I read, like you said, what kind of hit me and spoke to me, and it was very simple. It was, I think he said, write what you know, write what you love, and be honest.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And that was kind of my catalyst. That's where I started writing. And, I must say that I've got 4 books. I'm a storyteller. I think the word author kind of comes back with
let's see. Did we put up a book? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, what's up there?
What's up there? Let's see. We have Auburn Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, without messing up your schedule here, Auburn Heights is the most recent book.
Right.
I feel that I've done my best on that, as probably most writers do. The more you write, the better you feel like you're getting the feel for it.
Yeah.
So I really think that's a good story. And
you're doing good.
All right.
You're doing really good. Your wife is going to be so proud of you.
Oh, my God. Embarrassment section.
Oh.
Yeah.
Growing up in a house full of stories, did books play a role in early on, or?
Negative.
No?
No, I had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. I was the youngest of 5, and the sisters read, and if the brothers did, I know one of them didn't. And if my older brother did, I was too young to know it. But no, not like a big reading family.
No.
But my 2 sisters both read. Mom, not so much. I mean, I think that she was very smart.
Right.
And back in the day, you went to 8th grade.
Okay.
In St. Louis, and that was kind of it. And then you just went out on the world on your own. So I don't know if there was even high school. But my mother was very, very smart. I attribute a lot of her stuff that I get for anything that's smart is kind of mom's side. Yeah.
Now, so then tell us about those first steps. What that first book that you did.
It's the coolest thing to answer that, and I love that you asked that, because in the last 5 years, this is the oldest book that I have, and people always say, "How do you do it?" "Hey, Len, I'm going to do it. Will you help me?" No. "Hey, Len, I'm thinking about doing it, but I got to do this." "Start writing." "Well, I wanted to see if you think it's any." Man, you just got to start writing. And if you don't start writing,
you're
not going to have anything to hand somebody to say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And here's the tough part about writing. You're a school teacher. I barely graduated English, and I shouldn't say that. I'm not a horrible student.
It's okay. I'll excuse it.
My first book, I thought that an ellipsis, the more dots you put, the more pause you took before you said the next line.
Right.
So it's a very character building Italian dialect kind of book.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I made a lot of corrections before it went to print because I didn't know these things.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is when you hand your writing to someone, they're going to critique it.
Right.
And it's going to send you 3 weeks backwards. You're going to forget the story. You're going to forget where you started, where you were going, and you're going to be in someone else's head. You're going to be going, Guy L doesn't like this part. And you can't do that. You got to write a whole book. A lady taught me a word subjective and hand it out. Let people think what they like. Some won't like it. Some will. I forged ahead in writing. I didn't stop writing this book for 3 months, and I finished it in 3.5 months. It was done. The story, it took me forever to get it printed and back online. But yeah, I didn't edit too much.
No?
No, hardly any of them.
And why was that?
I'm stubborn. I really just can't go backwards very good. I mean, unless you catch me in an absolute, one of my beta readers said, hey, Dominic is Sonny's son, right? I was like, yeah. He said, well, they don't have the last name. And I go, oh, oops. Thanks, Rick. This was the guy that I work with. So that I'll change.
Uh-huh.
Much more than that, I can't flip-flop chapter 2 to what happens in chapter 22. But
you will change grammar.
Yes. And punctuation. I am really gotten good at that.
All right.
Yes, positively.
Right. Okay. So that was something that I was a little concerned about when you said you don't edit.
Yeah, I learned the hard way.
But you have to do that part.
You have to do that part. Yeah, it doesn't get past that.
Right.
I guess what I mean is like the story really.
Right. No, it's your story.
It's my story.
Yeah. But you have to edit for punctuation, for grammar.
Yeah.
You have to edit for things that so that you as the writer is getting the message across to the reader that you want to get across to the reader.
Positively.
So that has to be done. But the rest of it is really the writer.
Yeah, and I know it's a big no-no because I know about Stephen King. He says, here's the deal. If your editor says change it, change it. Well, I don't have a bestseller. I'm just me. So when thank you, Ralph. Thank you, man. I think it's a little past due. But my layout person that I've come to know after the order for the last 3 books, Joni, has said, now, Len, this is, you don't capitalize this. And I said, we're capitalizing it. She goes, okay. And we have this short 1-second fight where either I give up or she gives up and it's done and we're moving on.
Right.
I will not take a lot of time talking about,
right.
Especially its character dialect is what it is. Sometimes it's, I can't think of anything. Over is ova, stuff like that.
Right.
So OVA apostrophe.
If it's dialect, that's different too. Right. I mean, you do have to fit with the character and you have to work with certain parameters, but you also have to make sure that the reader understands what you're saying too.
Positively.
Because otherwise then the reader's going to put the book down and say, I'm not reading the rest of this.
It was really good having a beta reader on all the books because they perceive different things they come out of left field, some of the comments that they make. And you cannot proofread your own book.
No.
I mean, you've interviewed 1,000 people. I don't know how many.
Well, I got. This is my 98th show.
Thank you, Mr. 98. They're going to call me. But you can't. You just keep missing things.
Yeah.
And until somebody else looks at it, like the Dominic situation, wrong last name, it was like big mistake.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been a really good ride and very fun. I make it fun with my layout person about these arguments back and forth about punctuation and stuff. Okay,
so do you remember the first time you thought to yourself, I'm actually a writer now?
Still ain't happened.
No.
I think there's a line. I think that there's a writer and then there's an author. And I think until people really recognize, like we probably got, I don't know how many people have read my books. I mean, it was the most uncomfortable situation ever, having a conversation on my deck at a party, and people that I love were talking about characters that I invented. And there was a conversation around the fire about people that weren't even real. And I was just sitting there going, wow, this is kind of cool. So I think when you get to that point, I think I would kind of pat myself on the back. I mean, come on. You're an English teacher past,
Right.
but you always had that education.
Right.
This is full of fragmented sentences and some problems still after a bunch of money that I spent editing that didn't get accomplished. So the audio version available now is great.
Yeah.
Because I read the book, so it's a little bit easier. But
Okay.
yeah, you learn along the way. I mean, I don't know.
What surprised you the most about your writing process?
Nothing, man. I had it. I mean, I don't take on something unless I know I could do it, and I race to the finish line. I mean, as far as surprises, I guess what surprised me most is the pace that I had in other facets of life. And
Did all of these books take you the same amount of time?
yeah, about 3 or 4 months each.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You write every day?
Oh yeah.
You write what's your writing process? I mean, do you get up in the morning, you write first thing, or do you have coffee and then write in the afternoon, or you write in the middle of the night?
All of the above. I don't think I've ever been, this writer block thing, I think is something I've never had. I have had some spurts in between books where trying to find the next subject to write.
Uh-huh.
It took me a little bit to start on Auburn Heights.
Mm-hmm.
But, my process is nobody is going to do your work for you.
No.
So you better get in there and write.
Right.
And I wrote upstairs. I wrote downstairs. I typed everything.
On
Yeah.
your laptop?
Yeah,
That's great.
composed on a keyboard separate from the
Yeah.
laptop. I have a
okay.
special keyboard that I used.
Uh-huh.
And I tried a little legal pad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of caught myself in the kitchen and I go, I'll just keep writing. And it felt like double the work.
Yeah.
And I can't go back, just same way the editing. If I make any mistakes, I got to get that page before I go to the next page.
Do you edit as you write?
As best as I can, yeah. And boy, I really became a stickler after this one, because when it came out and I looked at it,
Mm-hmm.
it reads well, but there's a lot of things that an author knows. So the differess between the order and the richness.
Mm-hmm.
One lady said, gosh, Len, I couldn't even believe it was the same writer. What did you do? Find a thesaurus?
Bada boom.
Great friend. She knows who I'm talking about. And it was a real challenge, because this is kind of about my family with an apocalyptic twist.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of things in here that are my friends and family know exactly who I'm talking about. And other readers just know them as Tony and Sal and Jenny and different people. But there are people from the neighborhood. I mean, this is stuff. This guy here, I wanted to start like with nothing even compared to the first one, and really try to create a story. And I learned the word Panzer writer. Heard of that?
Yes.
Never heard of that. Did you ever hear of that?
Yeah, Panzer writer. That is a cross between somebody who plots out their writing
Oh, yeah.
or just
Okay.
free writes their writing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's somebody that does a cross between the two. And so you're someone that does a cross between the two, kind of plots it out, but then kind of free writes at the same time.
I follow.
My book club president said the easiest way to remember, Len, is you write by the seat of your pants. And I go, okay, I won't forget that. Is that a compliment in there, or what's?
It's just a style.
I don't know where I'm going, and I love it that way. I don't know where I'm going. I start out and I get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 chapters, and I'm always thinking sometimes I'll start on the afterword and an epilogue while I'm writing the book to kind of push that message home for me as I write. And it makes it a little easier to know. You got to know where you're going at some point.
Yeah.
You develop a lot of characters. You have to know.
Who's doing
Yeah,
what, when,
you
where, and
got to
how.
really stop and triangulate and go, what am I doing? This book really gave me a headache getting it figured out. But again, the pace was 3.5 months. I don't give myself too much more than that. And I don't know if it's good or bad. Some people are different. I know.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, people take years to write a book. I mean, just my thing. I don't know.
Do you think writing came to you at the right moment in your life?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What else can I do? I can't do.
Well,
anything.
could it come any earlier?
I was too busy. I mean, I was in life. I was living and working, and now I play golf. I can't play softball. I can't ice skate. I can't do anything anymore except play golf and write. I'm limited. I'm serious. I don't know how a person has a profession that's a writer and they're in their 30s. I can't imagine a life that would be that passive or that much time. If you read this book, I mean, we were so busy all the time at the shop, at the stereo company. It was just constant work, just constant. There was no time to do anything.
So, okay. I have to do radio identifier.
Okay, beautiful.
You're listening to Author's Edge with Gael Freer on KXOK 1029 FM and KWRH 929 FM, where stories begin and something takes a turn you didn't see coming. Today's guest is Leonard Tocco, author of Richness and the Order. Stay with us. As you move from the first book into the next one, what started to change for you as a writer?
Oh man, I was really challenged by the whole ellipsis thing and really my nativity of the English language and how to really print something and make it look good. Keep in mind, I didn't read a lot. So I didn't know how a book was kind of supposed to sound. I mean, when you watch someone that's great at something, it looks easy. I mean, Du McKee, 11/22/63, The Stand, all those books, you just read right through them. You don't realize how good the guy really is to keep you captured in it.
Right.
So, man, the bar was really high. I must say that I noticed it in the order before I started writing. Some of the preface is basically, what am I doing? What are you guys going to read that you haven't read? What sentences am I going to create that not only have already been created, but done in real life? I mean, like, how am I supposed to, I write it in the book. How am I supposed to surprise you? What is going to surprise you guys? And it's nothing. It's very hard to go in. It's like painting a picture that's already been painted, or, art, or, philosophy, anything, and pick an art. And if it's been done, it's kind of hard to do it again. It kind of gets washed out as swill, as I've seen that. I've heard that. So the question between the two books, complete turnaround. Richness starts in 1858 in New England. And the orders.
How did you pick that?
I had a dream and I woke up and it said there was a richness in this one, kind of like you look. It was like a lady that was very elegant and had the tight, and I pictured her in the turn of the century, 1800s. And I ran into the Vanderbilt family in my research and picked out one of my characters to become in that family tree. And again, seat of my pants, that's where I started. And we had visited Providence, Rhode Island, Shannon and I, and stayed at the Biltmore. I've never been to Long Island, where you guys we were talking earlier off camera. But I feel that I've been to New York and Staten Island and Long Island because I researched it so hard for the second book. But the goal is to be nothing like Tony and Sal and Uncle Pete. And, we have some thefts in the first book, and it's a 3-day book. It's only 3 days.
The Order. It's only 3 days.
3 days long. So February 29th of 1988. It's a leap year weekend. And then
that's interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. Yeah, 120,000 words over the weekend. So I talk a little bit too much. I don't know.
No, you're doing.
That's what it's all about.
It's supposed to be about you.
I do the same thing with the book. I will elaborate on stuff for so long. It's Stephen King says, "Hey, go for it."
Right.
Hey, man, if you want to make something 20 pages long that some people can do. I read Steinbeck. He talks about a turtle going across the street. It's 3 pages. And you cry while you read it. You go, what Where's this guy from?
Yes.
Literary giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we're gonna go to a station break. Let me give me a second here. Let me find my station break thing. Let me find my station break thing. Thing.
Mark's over there got to cut all this out.
Yeah.
Well, move
She
on,
is the
Gael.
BOSS, though.
Hands
man.
on those
She's
buzzers,
boss.
please.
There's such a strong thread running through all of this: identity, legacy, and what it really means to belong. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come with Lenny Toko. This segment of Author's Edge is brought to you by Blue Rooster Publishing, guiding writers from dream to finished book, helping you create stories that enlighten, connect, and endure, because great stories deserve to be heard. Authors, artists, and creative entrepreneurs want your book or project in front of a literary audience that's already listening. Author's Edge offers promotional opportunities on KXOK 1029 FM, KWRH 929 FM, and across the My Genre Radio network. Whether you're launching a new book or building your platform, we can help you share your story. Ready to reach your audience? Call 573-714-1352. Visit blueroosterorg.com or email Gael Freer at outlook.com. That's Gael, Gaelle, Freer, Freer, at outlook.com. And if you're looking to take that next step in your writing journey, join us September 12th for the Missouri Writers Guild Conference in St. Louis, a dynamic day designed to inspire, connect, and elevate your writing. We're honored to feature Ellen Hopkins, New York Times bestselling author of Crank, as this year's keynote speaker. If you're serious about your writing journey, this is an event you won't want to miss. Visit the Missouri Writers Guild website for full details and come be part of the conversation. Author's Edge, where authors and readers meet and stories find their way into the world. Bada boom, bada bang.
Really cool. You do that.
El Potro Restaurant and Market, located at 6920 Manchester Avenue, 1 block east of McCausland, offers the finest variety of Mexican and Central American groceries and goods. El Potro Restaurant serves authentic Mexican and Central American cuisine, including daily specials, not to mention the best horchata and tastiest margaritas in St. Louis. Open 7 days a week. El Potro, 6920 Manchester Avenue, 1 block east of McCausland.
Hi, this is Gael Freer, and each week on Author's Edge, we bring you thoughtful, lively conversations with writers, publishers, songwriters, illustrators, and artists as we explore the power and craft of storytelling. You can catch us every Saturday at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 7 a.m. on KXOK 1029, and we'll see you around the inkwell.
Merton Services is a heating, air conditioning, and commercial refrigeration business that's been providing exceptional services in St. Louis for over 50 years, and they take pride in providing services and comfort to both residential and commercial customers. With the temperatures rising in the summer and dropping in the winter, your comfort and health can be put in jeopardy. With proper checks and maintenance, Mertens will keep your equipment in top shape. And when it's time to replace your furnace or your air conditioner, they've got you covered. With a wide range of options, Mertens has the perfect HVAC system to fit all of your needs. To find out how the good folks at Mertens Services can help you with all of your HVAC needs, contact Mertens Services at 314-845-1500. That's 314-845-1500. Mertens Services, 314-845-1500.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton.
Welcome back. This is Author's Edge, and I'm talking today with Lenny Tocco. That's shift just a bit because your work goes beyond writing. Tell me about Read for You. What is it, and how did it come about?
Surprise. Well, how nice. So our path in the foundation that we really haven't talked about is to get to the next level and try to help people with a brick and mortar where they can come to us. And let me try not to go off track. The Read for You is, I have been enjoying reading so terribly much. I am narrating my third book. And
your third book
is The Last Great Antenna Installer, Uno Bono Vita, which means a good life. So This ended up being a memoir. It didn't start that way, but it's really a memoir about life. And some of the readers also had said, why isn't Michael involved in any of the books? And now
Michael's your son.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Michael is my son that passed in 2016. And in the course of writing this book of my life, guess what? I came to 2016. So I had a conversation with myself, since I'm a lonely writer.
Writing is lonely.
Is there anybody to ask? And I said, hey, if you're going to write about them, we're not going to lie. We're not going to exaggerate. We're going to stay right on the money. And I had those rules, and I talked about the days up to, him passing and the months prior, after the post time. And it became something that ended up finally in my books. When I said that the proceeds from the books go to our foundation, the first 2 books had nothing to do with grief or loss or Michael or any of that stuff. It was kind of Dad just kind of spewing out. I was just writing.
Right.
And the third one ran into Michael. And then the fourth one really delves in this. The fourth one is Auburn Heights. So again, I'm trying to reel myself back in. What was the actual question?
Mm-hmm. The actual question was Read for You.
Yeah, the Read for You thing. So in the context of that, since we don't have a building and we don't have any fixed expenses, as a businessman, it's easy. We don't have any expenses.
Right.
So I figured I would put some expense on our back and placed an ad to read for people. And what that is if you are in hospice, if you are an elderly person, if you are a person that can't see that chooses to have a magazine read to them, I'm your guy. And it is just rewarding as heck. It just started, and I've read to a couple people, and it's a service that we provide as the Peace of My Heart Foundation. So it's a product. It's like the books. It's like the bird houses. It's like these things that are all, we're trying so hard to get our footprint out there and really help families that are coping with the loss of a child.
What about the birdhouses?
So the birdhouses, I build birdhouses. And then I bring them to our golf tournaments, and our crazy, fantastic supporters of the foundation buy them, and they put them in their yards, and the proceeds from the sales go to the foundation. So if you want a birdhouse built, get in line, and I will build you one.
Okay. So do you want to talk about Michael?
I don't.
Well, if you don't, we don't have to.
I think I have to.
Okay, well, it's up to you.
Yeah, so quickly on parents that have lost a child. I lost a child in 2016. I see Mark waving his hand. And, so the word is, it makes it easy, the new normal, which I hate. And then also people tell us we're in the club. We're in the club, man. See the guy crying?
Yeah.
See what happens to both of us?
Yeah.
We don't want to be in that club. Okay.
No.
So this is why it's kind of difficult, because you end up in this new space, and the new space has to be occupied, and you have to do something to memorialize your son. And the guilt is just, overwhelming. So Michael was a gem, man. He was just a beautiful boy that was part of this fentanyl mistake, where somebody got my son a little piece of fentanyl that is 100 times stronger than hydrocodone. It's just a death pill. And this has been 10 years, so they're still trying to get this all worked out. But Michael was in the right solid middle of all that real bad times, where not an addict, not a kid that did anything wrong, not a kid that didn't experiment in college naturally.
Mhm.
He was brilliant, beautiful, job, girlfriend, dog. So I don't want anyone to ever associate fentanyl with my son.
Right.
But unfortunately, life, the plan isn't your plan. It's God's
Right.
plan.
So how did his decision to be an organ donor shape your perspective?
Yeah. So in the hospital, in the last book, I talk about a lady that did her best to present herself to me from Mid-America Transplant. Plug. And Julie was a donor sponsor for. She was supposed to come to the hospital and let the parents know that your child was a donor, which I did not know. And boy, I mean, the Sicilian stuff just came out. I wanted to it was a time when I was at my lowest, and she wanted to talk about what was going to happen with Michael's body, and we were still in the hospital. I mean, Julie is now one of my best friends. She opened the door to me to a whole new life that I'd never seen before. But boy, it's a difficult job to open that door and start talking to a parent about
I would think
organ
so,
donation.
yes.
In the long and short of it, Michael's organs saved, I don't know, countless people, 20 or 30 different people that portions of his body went to. And I just got a beautiful 3-page letter from them, doing everything but saying the names of the people, but what part of the country it went to, and eyes, and heaven forbid his skin, and just all this stuff. And it's very rewarding. So he decided to do that on his own. And it was just timely, man. I mean, it was like within a year before he passed. He was 28.
Good
Nobody
God.
thinks about passing away and donor stuff. Who thinks of that?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does Toko's Piece of My Heart Foundation have to do with, hope to do for others?
Yeah. So the tagline is to help families cope with the loss of a child. And we do that now through psychiatric help. We have been donating money from our golf tournaments and our mouse races and different things to just a couple organizations. Now, Mid-America Transplant is our heart. We always donate something to their countless ways that they help people down there. Fantastic, global, giant organization. But another one it's called Heart Links Grief Center in Belleville, Illinois. And they have a psychiatric kind of approach to this. So there's a lot of little kids that have parents that the parents lose their child and they're lost. And there's a psychiatric approach, and they have LCSWs, licensed clinical social workers, that we donate. Like just this last golf tournament, we bought all the furniture and all the lights and all the stuff for these little rooms that they have for different ages of kids and stuff. And it's really rewarding. It's all like Shannon bought it. My wife helps with all the cool stuff. And they bought lights, and we donated all the money that we made, and it was a good hefty sum. And I could tell you that when you go in there, it's all Michael. It's all like, just brings it all back. It's really rewarding. It's really cool.
So that's helped you work through this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't do it without it. We made it into a 501c3, and my goals are to become a brick and mortar and food pantry. And I really am still pushing very hard to find that location that grounds us as a brick and mortar foundation.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to the books.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think so.
wanted to touch on that because I know it's important to you.
Yeah, it is.
But I also
So-
want to get back to the books because that's
Yeah.
That's the basis of all of this.
All right.
So let's talk about your voice, how you found your voice for your books.
Yeah.
All right. Did your confidence grow with each book when you writing them?
Yeah, sure it does. I found the voice. It was real easy. I just started talking and it was right there, you know? So now so as I wrote the books, I would read, I'd read the books, and then the audiobook portion of the world is very popular. So people like you.
Now, do you read your books yourself?
Yeah, this self-narrated, The Order is online and available on Audible, and it's out there and it's done. You just click the button and you get 12 hours of me. Some
12
people
hours
can't
of
take
Lenny.
it. Some people
I'm not
can't
sure
take
if
it.
that's a good thing or not.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
And I think that's the route that I am going to go. I'm going to read the next 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
I am about 50% through the last great antenna installer. It's all read, and I am doing what Mark does to get it online with Audible. So you squeeze it and pull it and get it up where you can listen to it.
Now, you also describe yourself as a realist. How does that show up in your fiction?
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. I think I know the story behind telling a story. So I know what I think I'm supposed to try to make the reader feel.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to wonder who done it. I want them to be waiting for the next chapter. I think the word realist is really like, a business person knows what a realist is. A realist pays the bills.
Right.
Hey, she's the greatest gal you ever wanted to know, but they just couldn't make it in business. You got to be real about it. You got to understand that people have to be completely satisfied before they pay you. And I think that's kind of how
Your work touches on crime, family, and discrimination. What draws you to those themes?
Oh, I love crime. I love crime, man. I'm full-blooded Italian. Like these are like they robbed the Fairmount racetrack, which is a popular venue in our area. It's in the metropolitan area. It's been around for 80 or 90 years.
Uh-huh.
So I said, yeah, let's rob that. That'd be a good idea. And then we rob a bank. Do
you have murder too?
St. Louis. Yeah, well, sure. People die in the course of that. It was really simple for me. Yeah, it was like
Sicilian.
Family, friends, food, crime,
Family, friend, food, crime.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
There.
Oh, okay.
And
How much
passion.
okay, so I want to know how much of the Sicilian life is involved. I mean, how much of your family is in this?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I want to know.
And the names,
inquiring minds want to know.
The names are protected to protect the guilty. I mean, the innocent. The names have changed to protect the innocent.
Are you sure now?
Or the guilty.
Or the guilty. Or somewhere in between.
I don't know. I mean, when you grow up in your life, I would probably be so interested to hear just a brief stuff that I talked with Ralph outside. What is in your mind? What do you see? Talk about it in the order. Some of the chapters are the eyes of another. What do you see right now that I would just go, wow, I didn't even think of any of that. So that's how my life is. People look at The Sopranos and they go, oh my God, have you seen The Sopranos? I said, yeah, we lived it. What are you talking about? Yeah, we know all that stuff. If it didn't happen in our family, it happened surrounding our family.
Right.
There's many tales of Italians that didn't want to be part of anything. And the bad people that were in the family would always say, look, I need a favor. And the guy that was the honest, usually Roman Catholic, Orthodox Italian would not want to participate in that world.
Right.
And then comes the sentence, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. That's they just pushed and pushed and pushed where you really had to say, look, I don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
And a lot of Italians, they gave up and became gangsters. I mean, the discrimination was so horrible and the education was such that it was easier to get in the game or be that person and be that part of life. And unfortunately, we shun that. But gosh darn it, it's part of history, man. I mean, and
the Irish weren't that far behind you.
thank you.
They really weren't. I mean,
there's not an help me.
You're right. Go
That
ahead.
word. There's not anyone that doesn't. The Chinese. They have
They have their own. They have their own
ruthless gangs.
Yeah.
and people.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm very proud to be Italian. I'm very proud to be
Absolutely.
Catholic. I'm very proud of my mom and dad and their upbringing and all that, and our kids now and our grandkids. So I mean, like I said, from the eyes of me versus what you see, it's a really cool perspective.
I agree. Yes. How much of your life experience finds its way into your writing, or should we ask?
Already gotten into that.
I pretty much got to close that door.
Yeah, I
sometimes,
think
Ralph.
you did. All right, there's humor woven into your work. Does it come naturally to you?
Hey, what do you
You're
want to
just a
have? Do you want to have
guy.
a stiff Willie over here, or do you want to have someone that's fun? I say,
Let's have fun.
don't hold anything back. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that's what I used to tell my mom.
Yeah.
I used to tell my mom, if I am not going to do something unless I'm having fun, if I am not having fun, I ain't doing it.
big time. Uh-oh. Table. Yeah, they got a conversation going on about us. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it's me. I do things that get myself in trouble all the time. When you write about your Italian heritage, is that intentional or instinctive?
It's instinctive. It's right what you know. Stephen King told me to do it. I'm going to keep going back to him.
Do your characters surprise you?
Oh, yeah.
So
The
tell me about
coolest
them.
thing about the surprise. Well, I invented a lady in the beginning of Richness. So the first chapter of Richness was supposed to be very, very sexual, dominatrix type.
Ooh.
Yeah. See, I told you she's just like one of my characters.
Ooh.
And the power of Richness, the moral, the story is how much money, how much power is associated with that. So you've got a eccentric white queen that orders a black 19-year-old slave from, I got to think of the town, in Paris. And she orders her across the ocean in a steamship in the 1900s to come and service her, basically. So Gloria Vanderfleck was her name.
You're right.
And I invented the name for the lady as Lady Jessica Courtenay. I think it's a great name.
I think so too.
She surprised me. But once you create that depth, man, you got to be real through the whole book. You can't tiptoe after that chapter.
No.
You got to be that. And people love it.
Yes.
They love it. That's what people want to read and want to see. And
They want it to be real.
they want it to be real, man.
So one thing that's really coming through is that writing may look a lot like a solo act, but it rarely is. Okay.
Yeah.
So who helps you write?
I got a great group of people that we meet every Saturday, or every one Saturday of a month. And I bounce a lot of stuff off. You had Diane Howe on your show.
Mm-hmm.
And Diane is a great, great beta reader. More than that, absolute family friend.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband reads my books in a day and a half. He just is a rocket ship.
Wow.
Now, he is very short on his critiquing. I say 1 out of 5. Come on. Oh, solid 4. That's it. What'd you think about it? There's no time to talk to Lee. He reads it. If there's a big problem, he'll let you know. And then Diane follows up and she'll read it. And she is very eloquent. Some of my best reviews. I love honesty in someone's
Yes.
critique, man. I don't blow smoke. I don't want, if it's
Don't
no
tell me
good-
I'm great.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Diane Howe, solid 3 out of 5, which I was kind of like, shit. And then I realized how many books she reads. And this is just not the literary,
Right.
this isn't going to be in a museum. But a Pulp Fiction book, a great story, the Audible version, I like it. I mean, it's a long story, but it's funny. A lot of it's funny, and the whole Roots in St. Louis thing kind of.
And it's Pulp Fiction, and people,
It's
it's a
cool,
good
yeah.
summertime read
It
book,
is.
and
It's good.
you read it, and you put it down, and you're good to
Yeah.
go. It keeps the brain moving,
Yes,
and that's sometimes that's all you really want.
it is, man. It's purpose,
Yeah. So let me ask you, and I love that you include. Tell me about your wife and the role she plays in all of this.
I don't know if I could talk about my wife.
Oh, I want to
I
hear
don't
more
want to
about
get
your
hurt.
wife.
I don't want to
because
get hurt.
Your wife sounds like a wonderful woman.
Yeah,
She really does.
She's gonna watch this,
Yeah, well,
So-
I'm excited. Not only do I want her to watch it, but I want her to call me and tell me about it afterwards.
My wife is the writer in the family that doesn't write. My wife, I love more than anyone. You got that?
I hear
See,
you.
I think it's kind of the same.
I want you to know he's the writer.
Okay, yeah.
I am not the writer.
Well, I don't know how that works, but for some reason, it works like that.
Mhm.
Now, she has helped me with some of the stuff on richness. What do I do with this lady? She threw a guy in a cage in the Auburn Heights book. She goes, just put him in there. Don't worry about it. And I did. But has she read or picked up any of my books? Not one. Has she read any of them? Not one. This book has got pictures of her in it. This book is all about me and my wife, basically.
Yeah.
And she doesn't partake in any of it. So when I die, I hope she'll realize how much I love her.
I'm sure she does, and she will.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Shannon's awesome. She bedazzles book bindings, so she puts stuff on her book. She's a 800 plus book member. She reads a lot. She's a great he did it, she did it. Did you see that look? She tells me stuff that's 3 chapters ahead before it happens, that when we're watching TV. She's very, very, she picks it up. She's got the, what do they call that? Context?
Perception.
Yeah, but
Perception.
She
She's
really,
perceptive.
she's very perceptive. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
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 It's not cool if you're her husband, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because she blows the.
Where were you at? When
Yeah.
are you coming? What were you doing here?
Yeah, and
No.
she also.
I have a relationship with Chat GPT, and I call her Chatty when I work on things. She don't like that.
No.
No.
Well, she also, yeah, she can pick up. Yeah.
You would love her. You
uh,
actually should interview her instead of me. Yeah, she's awesome.
How have your family members ever seen themselves in your stories?
Yeah, my sister Sarah reads.
Has she
Sarah,
read all your books?
yeah, she's getting another one Friday. She's getting Auburn Heights Friday. Sarah, who I love, is why chapter 1 in Richness ended up being chapter 22. I sent her the book, and she sent it back a day later and chewed me out up one side and down the other and said, hey, I'm not a prude, but you need to soften up on this whole dominatrix stuff. I don't like it. So, that's a beta reader that I love, plus it's my sister. And, I did kind of go overboard on some things, and I
pulled it back on
I
it.
pulled it back. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
I didn't want to, but I did.
Okay, so have you ever been called out on? Well, you just said.
Yeah.
Besides
Yeah,
Sarah, have
the old Italians, they call me out. Yeah. It's
all the
like,
time?
Oh yeah. They're like, it didn't go down that way. And you spelled this name wrong. And I'm like, I don't care. My readers don't care. They don't know any of that. It's just not important,
How about have any of your kids read your books?
No. And I acknowledge them also a lot. And again, probably after I'm gone, they'll say,
How
what?
old are your kids?
I've got a 42-year-old down to a 29. I got 5 boys, and we are expecting our 5th granddaughter.
Aha.
Yeah, so I got all girls, and they're great. That really helps.
Hi,
grandkids.
How did fatherhood help teach you about that now? How did fatherhood come up with this?
I'll tell you the truth. I'm a realist. So I'm still really learning about fatherhood, and I recognize it in the 3rd book. And when you stop and think and write and talk to yourself about how did you do as a father, I'm not really impressed by my efforts as a dad. I mean, I'm just being a realist. I had a business. I never had a 9 to 5. I was always go, go, go. So I think I probably learned the most from my kids and they're having kids and my relationship now with my oldest granddaughter, Charlotte, and how they are. And I really am pulling back going, man, you really can't cuss around your kids. That wasn't cool. There's a lot of things that you did that really you shouldn't have done. Now, I will tell you, they're great kids. They're very respectful. They're very smart. I hope it was all hereditary. I hope they took it all. But yeah, man, show me a father that brags about being a great dad. I want to talk to his kid by himself. I don't think any of us should brag at being great fathers. It's a tough job, man.
Yes, it is.
And the burden that we put on our kids at every damn soccer game and every cheerleading event, that we're right there.
Right.
We're constantly on our kids. So my kids are doing a great job at fatherhood, and I'm very happy that they have inherited that, I hope.
Right.
So,
yeah. No, I hear you.
love was there is what I'm trying to say.
And I think as long as the love is there and sincere and genuine, I think that's the most important part. I don't know if you always have to be in the presence of, but they need to know that you always love them.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part.
We had separation from our kids. We were not on top of them all the time and didn't ask them.
I don't think you always have to be on top of them.
No, I don't either.
I think they need a little independence.
Yes.
I know my mom and dad were not always on top of me because I got into a lot of trouble. So
maybe she should write a book. Let's get that memoir out there.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
The real Gael Freer.
The
real Gael Freer story.
No. So we are getting close to wrapping things up.
Okay.
When you sit down to write now, what matters most to you on the page?
I'm a nitpicker I learned the hard way for grammar and quotes and spacing and periods and colons and semicolons and
love it.
A couple 300,000 or 400,000 words, and you learn some of that stuff. So I'm a layout person.
I love it.
Yeah.
I get so irritated when I read a book and I see misspelled words or I see grammar in the wrong place. So I'm just like,
task.
Really?
Yeah, it's a real task. Now, again, I know you asked me that before. I don't have misspelled words in this. I just have sentences that are just going left and right, and they just keep going. Fragmented sentences, I think they call it.
Yes. Now, what do you hope readers feel when they walk away after spending time with your stories?
I think I'm a good ending person. My story really comes home in the last pages, and I hope that they leave with a good feeling. There's always some kind of moral at the end of my story. The order lands real softly on Christmas Day. I mean, it's this first book, but it's all about that February date, and then it's 6 months later, and boom, there's one Christmas scene. Richness comes away with a moral. The Great Antenna Installer I'm finishing now, and it finishes very smooth, and there's a message from a father. There's a fatherly message. And you asked about my fatherly Auburn Heights. It just turned out to be a complete father's wish,
Right.
know?
Okay, so this is Richness.
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
We got that. And then we have The Order. And then we have The Last
Great Antenna Installer.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So after we finish these, what's the next book?
Are we done? I thought we were going a couple more hours.
No.
I'm just kidding. So my plight is audiobooks. I am doing engineering. So I'm trying to read my other 3 books and get them published on Audible and Spotify.
Okay. And everything can be found on Amazon.
Everything can be found on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere.
All right, Lenny, thank you so much for sharing your story and your heart with us today. It's been truly a meaningful conversation. Our next show will feature Tammy Jennings, the illustrator of Stand Tall, Little Twig by Mary Ann Featherston. And to our listeners, thank you for being part of our literary community and for supporting the stories that challenge us, inspire us, and carry us somewhere new. Thanks for listening to Author's Edge on KXOK 102.9 FM and KWRH 92.9 FM. You can catch us on air each weekend, stream at KXOK .com and KWRH.com on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, and TuneIn, and nationwide on the My Genre Radio Network. If you missed an episode, find us anytime at authorsedge.org. Until next time, keep reading, keep writing, keep creating, and I'll see you around the inkwell. Bada boom, bada bang.
Bada boom, bada bing.